Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Talking Mons, our Digimon Ghost Game Recap podcast. My name is JD, and of course we've got Jeanette and Gary here.
Hello.
And this week we're still playing catch up a bit. We're gonna be talking about episodes 59 Jiraiya and episode 60 Water Ghost. Some fun, weird stuff this week. I don't know about y'all, but kind of just some fun, weird stuff. Like you do.
Body horror.
Yeah, body horror. So we're gonna talk about. We'll start with episode 59, Jiraiya, which it took me until about halfway through the episode to realize, that's why they call that character in Naruto that, and why he has a giant frog.
I mean, it is based on an actual folk hero.
Yeah, no, that's what I got. It's like, okay, this is like an old Japanese thing, and then my because I had watched Naruto since I was like in middle school, so that part of my brain kind of unlocked for a minute. So this basically is revolving around whatever. I don't know what the Legend of Jiraiya is. It's like some guy. It's some kind of samurai dude or whatever who rides the back of a frog, and he's like a hero or something. But so basically, the Shogun Gekomon and his little Gekomon friend are going around trying to find Jiraiya, his human rider. And apparently he just has found so many people who could be Jiraiya. But it turns out when they try to run away, they just kind of sink and mold, fuse into his back, and you see these horrified human skin faces just fused into his back, and then he goes and finds another one.
I don't think it's even when they try to run away. I think it just happens.
Well, I think because there's a line in it where because Kyo is gets caught by this, because I thought it was really funny. He so at the beginning of this episode, Kyo goes and meets a friend, and they're both fucking nerds. And then his friend is
girl.
Yeah, this is nerd girl. It's like I don't know. Kyo seems too asexual to get a girlfriend or whatever, but
he gets all the ladies.
Yeah. But they both go to a Sentai live show,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was funny. It's hey, they just go to a Power Rangers show, even
To a Power Ranger show.
Or you have to get the kids to be interested in the old folktale.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know they do this in Japan where they will get the latest Sentai or Kamen Rider or anything, and they'll just go do performances out in public, probably just to hype bring attention to the show. But yeah, so they're doing one of these, and the big Gekomon attacks because the Sentai season for that one is they're called the Jiraiya, so they are the samurai esque kind of costumes, and the big Gekomon's confused because wait, there's only supposed to be one Jiraiya. How are there 5 of you?
Yes.
Until Kyo steps up, says he's Jiraiya, and he gets taken. But getting back to my point, there was a line after Kyo gets taken, and he kind of realizes all these other people have gotten sunk into Shogun Gekomon's back, and he's he asks Gekomon, is this gonna happen to me? And Gekomon's yeah, if you don't run away. He's how do I stop this? Just don't run away.
But
so Kyo kind of just
but Shogun Gekomon doesn't even know it's happening.
He doesn't know it's happening. His little Gekomon follower knows it's happening.
I think it might be. I think it actually might be a bit of a mistranslation, because it seems to be whenever Kyo is afraid, he sinks into the back rather than trying to run away.
Yeah, and because Shogun gets confused when his rider disappears into his back. He just thinks he ran off.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's just this interesting. Kiro and Ruli have to track down the Gekomon and to try to get Kyo back. But hey, Gulus Gamamon shows back up again for a minute.
I mean, Mr. Frogman is very mean to Gamamon.
It's really funny to me that Shogun is such a goofy design, and he's the one that provokes Gamamon to Dark Evolve again.
Well, he did smack them after Gamamon de-evolve from Ken or Weismon like several times. Like, you're beating up a kid at this point.
Right. But yeah. So Gulu shows up again, and I still want to know what the hell why when Gulu shows up, these dark Digimon like show up in the background, because we've seen Black Agumon and Black Gargomon before the last times he's shown up. We add Black Growlmon to the list. But they like show up to like witness what's going on and then leave. And I have no idea what's going on with that.
I wonder if he was like their leader at some point.
That's what I'm wondering. Sorry, I've been blabbering for a long time. What did you guys think about this one?
Go ahead, Gary.
You go ahead.
No, I insist. Go ahead.
Okay. It's fun. Just like from all the how they follow him. Because Shogun Gekkomon is like the hero of his story. Like every little petty crime and also not so petty crime is dealt with by him vaporizing someone.
Yeah.
And that just like this lady who lit her, they vaporized her and her car.
Like half of her car is gone.
This person who was like vandalizing with the spray paint got vaporized, including the wall that he was vandalizing. So you're not helping. That's worse than graffiti.
And it's even funnier the fact that like it starts with he's stopping like petty criminals, like people who are like robbing people. Like, okay, fine, whatever. But purse snatchers and stuff. He's stopping them. But then it kind of devolves into these like even like nothing crimes. And he deals with it the same way he would deal with anything else.
Vaporizing.
Yeah.
If there's no crime there's no crime to commit.
True. No, that's very true.
I thought the episode was a lot of fun, and I kind of found what happened at the end interesting with, I guess I haven't quite followed with the Gulsmon, with him wanting his hero to sync with him.
Yeah.
But he's like, please sync with me so we can be a team and take over the world. He's like, no, I don't want to be, he doesn't want to be with evil. Hero's not down with the evil.
Right.
Going the dark side.
But like, if he's synced with him, wouldn't he just be kind of like the unwilling like vessel for Ghouls Gamamon just to get powerful and boss around and all that? It sounds like.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't really get a read on what his deal is. I'm feeling like it has something to do with this mystery of who's sending the Digimon into the real world, and we kind of get. I can't remember if it's in this one or the next one. We do get more mention of like they're starting to think more about like, okay, who is actually sending these monsters over?
Yeah. But between this one and the next one, I feel like despite a lot of them, the episodes still being episodic, it's definitely moving in a more cohesive direction.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of more lore drops.
There's one thing that's a little annoyed with, like I'm annoyed with, is that at the end they were trying to figure out what to do, like how to deal with Shogun Gekkomon, and for the entire episode, Kyo's friend has been following them.
Yep.
And she volunteered to take him in to teach him the way of like actual justice and not just random vigilante stuff, and let them live with her in her like pretty big like home. But
yeah,
we never see how that was explained to her. Like she witnessed the fight and everything, including Gulu's Gamamon, but we don't know how Kyo explained it to her. It's like, what is this? Is this just like a rogue AI from a game or something else? Is that... I want to know, like, why she's
like,
so...
Yeah. Like, they had to explain to her what Digimon are, right? Because if they should leave two of them with her, they're gonna tell her at least. Yeah. So she has to have something.
I think there was definitely stuff that happened off screen with explaining to the frogs and her, because they're like, tell the frogs to stay out of sight like we told you and all that. Right. And I'm not sure she quite grasped it so much as like, ooh, cool anime monsters. I want to be a waifu living with anime monsters. Let's do it.
Yeah, 'cause she's a fucking weeb.
I love her. I absolutely adore her. I hope she comes back.
Yeah, I hope she comes back too.
I imagine she will. If she's hanging on to Digimon, I'm sure she will.
Yeah, and I like the little. I'm not good with the names as always, but the little frog got to be the one riding on his lord's back at the end. I thought that was a really cute episode. I'm glad it ended happily. Like the big frog guy, he was an idiot, but he was an adorable, like well-meaning idiot.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
a big,
actually
powerful idiot.
yeah, I'm actually a little surprised Gulu's Gamamon show up. I thought that it's gonna be like one of those lecture-based resolution to the story. It's like, see, you destroy property too, and you can like go around like dealing justice, but also hurting other people as well. That's not what heroes do.
It's just Gulu's coming out and just like not even breaking a sweat stopping him.
Yeah, and like blackmailing hero with like
Right.
it's like, I'll make a deal, sync with me, and I'll release all the human. If not, I'll just like I assume he's gonna like
No, yeah,
destroy everyone.
yeah, because he's like Gulus is just gonna kill Shogun.
Mm.
But then they're like, well, if you do that, the people that are inside of him are probably also going to die. But thankfully, like the little Geckomon is able to just do it himself, so he doesn't need Gulus to take him out.
Because Gulimon's like, kill humans, acceptable, wonderful, let's do it.
Gulus doesn't seem to have a lot of morals. He does what he wants.
I have so many questions about him that I hope get answered.
Jeremy Snow here, owner and editor-in-chief of The Geekly Grind. I'm interrupting your awesome, regularly scheduled programming to ensure that you know about our Geekly Grind podcast network, of which this show is a treasured member of. If you haven't had a chance to check out our site, you can do so at www.thegeeklygrind.com, and while you're there, check out the other members of our steadily growing podcast family, including the anime-centric Blake and Spencer Get Jumped, discovering new heroes and comic book keepers with Chris and Lance, exploring the vast universe of geekdom with Geeksploration, or of course appreciating animation's finer details with the Ink and Paint Club. Escape your weekly grind at The Geekly Grind.
Okay, we'll go ahead and move into episode 60, which is Water Ghost. Hey man, it seems like we're like just going every other episode now. We got Gamamon got to Siriusmon, Angoramon got to Diarbitmon, and now it's Jellymon's turn to finally go Mega. In kind of a cool way, I think. But we'll talk about it. But yeah, we mentioned body horror. This is the body horror episode.
Well, last episode was pretty body horror-ish too.
I think this one. I honestly think this one's worse.
Yeah, worse. The last one had those uncomfortable squelching noises when they came out. So
yeah, so this one is basically like something is causing people to basically shoot water out of their eyes and mouths, except their eyes and mouths turn into like black voids. So it's just really horrifying. To just see all these people just standing around with like void faces, just shooting water out of it. But it basically, in the end, it basically turns out that this I think this one's new. I don't know how new, but it's called Cathalamon. I'm gonna call it that. Which is basically a dark marine Angemon.
I thought they're going to call it Marine Devimon.
There is a Marine Devimon.
Oh right, there's already one.
He's a big boy. But yeah, so it basically it's all these Divermon going around town, basically trying to flood the town because their leader went up a mountain, got stuck in a tree and dried out, and got put into a shrine to just like sit there and like waste away. So they were trying to flood the town so much that it would reach the shrine so they could get their leader back in the water. But yeah, it was fun. I really like that we got to see some Marimon. I was not expecting a season 2 armor to show up.
Yeah, he's cool too.
He's a real bro.
And he's a submarine. I mean, yeah, that's been his name, but
I love how he just like, oh, I've never been on land before. Now is my chance to do some sightseeing.
Yeah.
He's
just hanging out, man. He's just doing his thing. Like even they're like, dude, are you the one flooding everything? Because he's like the first like thing in the water that they find, and he's like, no, someone's trying to frame me. I swear, like I'm just hanging out, man. And then he's just so nice. He actually helps them because obviously, apparently, what happens is if you get water on your head, like the Divermon are going around like pouring water on people's heads, and if you get water on your head, then you get like paralyzed and start shooting water everywhere.
It's terrifying because it starts out from like the cruise ship, and it's like one of the zombie movie that starts out. Came from the cruise ship, it crashed on the beach, and then rescue worker go and check out what's going on, and then those people got water on their head and started like happening as well, and then just throughout the town, it just keeps happening. Like their apartments get filled up with water and then burst. It's not raining; it's bursting water from the apartments above.
Yeah, and sorry, go ahead.
I was pretty okay until it happened to Hero and Rory. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, that was uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, so people have to like run for the high ground, and it's I feel like that this is an interesting concept on its own for an actual horror movie.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty terrifying, to be honest.
Two episodes can pretty much be dubbed Kirishimura's no good, very bad hair
yeah.
days.
I don't know if this is something that bothered you guys too. So all the humans, because they're getting water dumped on them, like they get to being human fountains. And basically, maybe I just was reading the subtitles wrong. I thought it was like they were like, Samarimon, you're in the water. Why aren't you being affected by this? And he's like, I don't know. I'm just like in the water and nothing bad's happening to me. Maybe it's because I'm an aquatic Digimon. I'm always in the water. And they're like, so Jellymon's like, wait a minute, I'm an aquatic Digimon. She just jumps in and is like, yeah, I'm totally fine. It's fine. So that led me to believe that only the aquatic Digimon aren't affected by this, but Gamamon and Angoramon fall in at one point. And aren't affected. So I don't know if it's like just the Digimon aren't affected by it. It's only the humans, or I don't know.
Well, and Goromon can't really swim, and he stole a air tank from one of the whatchamacallit.
Yeah, he stole one off the Divermon.
Yeah,
Divermon.
And then go ahead.
Well, I assume it's like maybe you breathe in some of the water, not just on your head.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was really weird. I felt like they like set a rule and then like for those two kind of broke it, or maybe it's just me and I misread something.
Maybe it only really affects humans.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I took after a while. I'm like, okay, this is just a human disease.
Although I do know Gamamon couldn't breathe in the water because they had to create a little air bubble for him. But
right,
yeah. But I don't think he was affected in that he became a fountain. It's only like because they were drawing the life force from the humans.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the Digimon were just excluded by the fact that they weren't humans.
Sure. So yeah, the Cathalamon finally gets back in the water, and he's just like, okay, yeah, let's just keep flooding it. This is like we're just gonna make this our home now. And like yeah, it just starts flooding the town more. And then this kind of just leads to Jellymon evolves and like I think doing a pretty good job fighting back just as like Thetismon. But she gets tied up at one point and is unable to fight anymore. And then we get the same scene we've gotten with Hero and Ruli at this point, where you kind of get like a Cliff Notes version of like Jellymon and Kyo's relationship and just like what the human world means to Jellymon. And she just like she loves the humans, just thinks they're so interesting, and like just wants to learn more about them. And that finally gets us. Jellymon finally hits her Mega, and it's called Amphimon, and it's basically a giant pink diver suit.
I'm here for the design.
No, I'm down for it. I think it makes total sense.
Yeah. I kind of got Sailor Moon vibes combined with Mecha vibes, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm here."
It's got like the big like or like a big arcing ponytail things coming off. It's like antenna or something.
Mm-hmm.
But especially with a lot of the poses, yeah, I was totally getting some Sailor Moon vibes off of her.
I'm really glad that it breaks the sexy mega level Digimon design vibe.
You know what? I am. The more I thought about it, because I've seen these. I saw these designs like ages ago when like I think they were putting it out in like magazines and like we're adding them to the card game and all that. But when I saw Amphimon at the first, like, yeah, this kind of breaks the design aesthetic, but not in a way that I think Lamortmon breaks his lines of design aesthetic. I think this one actually works as a subversion. So it's like you said, Gary, it's not like her becoming an even sexier jellyfish woman, it's like, no, we're gonna cover up completely. She's still gonna have some feminine curve to her, but she's in this giant bulky diver suit. Like, you can't even see her face. It's inside a helmet.
And I think it makes sense because she's an aquatic Digimon.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thematically it makes sense. It's
Definitely.
it just breaks the trend, and I like it.
I like that too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think they could have made Thetismon any sexier without making it really uncomfortable for everyone. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we didn't need to like start pushing into like Angel Woman vibes.
Or Rosemon vibes.
Or Rosemon, yeah. I honestly thought like once I saw Thetismon, it's like, we're gonna get like a water Rosemon mega for her, aren't we? And nope, they kind of completely went the opposite direction with that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of here for it.
Mm.
But
It was
yeah,
really touching too, like the moment between them, and they're like, "We love this world and we love humans, and we're going to protect it." Especially since there was a moment where Kyo is like trying to do the Inagura overflow, and he's like, "No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to hang on."
yeah, and I like that it flashed back to specifically the other times that he's had to like really nut up and like save the day.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Like, so it really kind of hammered home that like, yes, he's the scaredy cat, but like when it really matters, he's gonna step up. And that's on, and those occasions have been usually when Jellymon gets her next stage.
Mm-hmm. And I will say, between this episode and last episode, it really feels like Kyo's grown as a character.
Oh yeah. Like, I honestly, I'm kind of like, out of the three main characters, I'm kind of here mostly for Kyo and Jellymon's relationship, because I feel like he's grown a lot as a character. I love their like almost flirtatious dynamic. Because like, you know, you got Kyo and or not Kyo, Hero and Gamamon, which are like big brother, little brother dynamic. I don't exactly know what I would like exploit. Like, and Goremon's like a gentleman protector.
Yeah,
I feel like it's about knight and her princess kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which, if it wasn't for Lemortmon, that'd feed into his evolution line too.
Right. And then you've got like Kyo and Jellymon, which are like this
Husband and wife.
this moucious man and his rambunctious girlfriend. And I've always really just loved their like dynamic where he's just like taking shit from her all the time.
Yeah, I love all three of them, but Kyo and Jellymon, that's by far my favorite.
Yeah, I really like those two. But yeah, so is there anything else that stood out on this episode for you guys?
I feel like we've talked it out, but yeah, it's a good episode, good pair of episodes.
Yeah.
I feel like
I do like the ending where I guess I got a couple things. One, the Mega Jellymon is like talking to the evil sea monster Digimon like a little kindergarten teacher, and I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. It's like just talking down to them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Cathay Lamont was more or less a chaotic, evil little child who just wanted to have fun at everyone else's expense.
Yeah, it wasn't so much that he's like, I don't think he's really he's one of those Digimon who doesn't really comprehend that his actions are affecting the humans.
Oh, I think he knows, but he doesn't care as long as he has fun.
Right, he doesn't have the empathy for that. But yeah, it's fun with Amphimon. Is just like, dude, you really can't be doing this, and they're like, okay. But then by the end of it, they're like, hey, dude, like the world's made of mostly water. Just like go explore out there. And they're like, okay, cool, and they just kind of swim off into the ocean somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And Jellymon's basically saying this human who makes the world fun.
But there's rules, man. Yeah. You gotta play by the rules.
Man, fuck the rules. I'm with the evil seaman on this. Evil seaman on this, like reference to the Sega show.
Yeah.
This game.
So I guess there's two things I wanna touch on before we go.
Okay.
First off, okay, so now that we've seen everybody's mega form, what would you guys say is your favorite of the three?
Gentleman Bunny.
Yeah, I will have to agree with that too.
I think so.
Cool.
I think I'm with you guys as well. I think the Arbitmon is kind of a classy design.
Yeah, I do like the Jellymon one second best. And I don't know, I just don't think it's cool, but I just don't think Gamamon's especially interesting.
I think Siriusmon is too safe. of a design.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
He's basically like, what if we stuck like Blitz Greymon and like some Omnimon vibes in there? He just seems like we've seen this monster before in parts. Whereas like Diarbitmon, yes, he's kind of like in that kind of like Sakuyamon kind of realm, but he still has like the different kind of outfit and the swords and stuff. So like that kind of sets him apart. And fucking Amphimon is just like completely new, never seen this before, kind of monster. So,
I think like the Gamamon one, like it's very much a marketable design that represents what the hero Digimon typically look like. It just is too safe. It's too typical.
Serious Mon would make a good action figure.
I would put him on my desk.
Yeah. But I was hoping that they were going to go with even more of a dragon design, like a Asian dragon.
Yeah,
that's like grander than a regular dragon.
What if they'd been a Dragon Knight? That would have been cool because they would all have been 3 humanoids. Fuck yeah, like Final Fantasy Dragoon class type Digimon.
Yeah, I was really kind of hoping for like a more of a leading more towards the dragon element than the dragon man element. So like I don't know. I was hoping for more dragon than War Greymon.
I mean, I guess they all are humanoids, but I would have liked my humanoid to be more human.
Yeah, because it was just nice that like he goes from like his 3 champion levels, but like Beetle, the red one, is his main. And that goes into Kano, and Kano is like a very traditional dragon. I was just kind of hoping they would continue on with that.
I think I would have liked if the Mega of Gamamon looked more like Kano.
Yes.
I think that's the big thing for me. Like, as much as I've thrown a lot of shit around, I think if it just done that, I would have been really down with it.
Yeah.
Or even mode change.
Right.
Because he has 3 different versions already. Why not have him have sides like transform into different versions as well? And that would be more marketable in toy lines.
So I'm not going to say much because it might be spoileries, but this might not be the only one, is what I'm going to say.
Oh.
But I don't know the full context of it. I've just seen some stuff that may hint that this may not be Gamamon's only final.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Oh, I'm hyped for it now.
Yeah. But saying that, I think we all agree that Diarbitmon is the best Mega. I will say, out of all 3 of them, Jellymon has the most solid line design wise. Like, I don't think there's a bad design in her line.
I agree, and it's fairly original.
Yeah, it's original. It pretty much is thematically ties together, and they all have similar fighting styles and such. And I like it. She's very much like the martial artist, like kickboxer fighter.
Right. Okay, and to wrap us up, it's something we technically forgot to do the last episode, but in fairness, it only happened in the 2nd episode we talked about last time. But we did get a new ending last time, and I like the song. It's kind of a fun, it's kind of a like a chill, like kind of funky sound that I'm kind of here for. The images they used are kind of like nothing. Because you've got like Gamamon and Ryutamon hanging out, and then like Angoramon's hanging out with Mummymon, and they're in the jungle doing something. And then you've got like Bastamon and Jellymon being pirates for some reason.
That one.
Yeah, I like that one.
I just like the visual of that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it feels like more of the same, I guess. I mean, I don't mind it. It's like random slice of life, happy-go-lucky fun time.
Sorry, go ahead, Jeanette.
Yeah, at some point, like it's just another like watercolor-esque slideshow ending. At some point, I'm going to go back and like, if we see if I actually will, but I hope to go back and like take screenshots without the subtitles of the different ending watercolors and use them as wallpapers.
Oh yeah,
it's not really anything to write home about. It's just a slideshow that's kind of pretty. It's got kind of nice images.
Yeah, I think my problem with this is, I think at least as far as I can remember, because this is like the 6th ending.
Yeah.
The other ones, like the 3, because they always go in like, here's one shot, here's a second shot, here's a third one, and then there's a 4th one that kind of ties them all together. And I feel like all the shots kind of like would flow together and kind of like make sense, because like the last one was they were all like buying flowers or something, and they all came together at the end. all three of the images that they present for this one are like just very different from each other and don't connect at all. So maybe that's why it's throwing me off.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree. I didn't notice that till you pointed it out.
It does make me wonder if Bastamon's gonna be coming back soon. Then, if she's in the outro, because we
Cool.
didn't see her that long
Probably.
ago.
Bring more
But
waifu Digimon back.
I mean,
Bring
yeah,
back waifus.
she wasn't. She's only been gone for maybe 5 episodes at this point.
Mhm.
So, yeah, who knows? I mean, she did seem like she was gonna go off and do her own thing for a bit, but would probably maybe circle back around, maybe like in the way that Clockbond did. But I guess we'll just have to see.
Bring back Waifu Cats 2023. We can bring back the angry waifu one too while we're at it.
No, Jeanette, we have to have a third waifu cat. We're gonna complete the trinity.
There we go.
And then they
There
can
we
all
go.
come back as Team Waifu Cat.
That'll be the next Digimon series, just the Waifu Cat series.
It's like fucking Charlie's Angels, except they're all just like fucking giant cat ladies.
I mean, you say that, but I'd watch it.
You know what? I might too.
You know, that's
Yeah.
kind of a perfect way to end this. Just Charlie Angel Waifu Cat ladies.
Hell yeah. Okay, well, on that note, I think we're going to wrap it up here for this week. Thank you all for listening. Hopefully by next episode, we should be caught back up to real time. But I have seen a little bit of what's to come in the next couple episodes, and I am curious. I'll put it that way. We'll see if my curiosity pays off. But until then, everybody stay safe, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.